Hi guys. So I got a video request from one of my viewers. Who was that? Normal citizens perhaps. Anyway, shout out to you, good ID. I always pronounced that wrong, never mind. So the video he wanted was how do you get into handgun shooting in Sweden. So the easiest way to do that is to join a shooting club that is doing handgun shooting, and then they'll tell you how to do it. But I can go into a bit more detail. So we have a shooting federation called Svenska Pistolskytteförbundet. It's basically a Swedish handgun shooting federation. And when you join a shooting club that does handgun shooting, they have a really nice program for beginners. And it's actually quite hard to get a handgun license in Sweden. So the rules are a bit awkward. You're going to have to do like a safety course. And get a little card called Pistolskyttekortet, or the handgun shooting card. And it's basically an education you have to pass. And it has some different parts of it, mostly safety and how the rules of competing works, what actually a shooting club entails, stuff like that. It's quite useful. And meanwhile, you will use the club's own handguns. Probably it's going to be a 22 long rifle handgun, and you shoot one-handed, and you want a tiny little group. At 25 meters shooting one-handed, you need to have 46 points, and you have to get 46 points for free series, not consecutive, just free. Can be, doesn't matter how long it takes you, but you need these free series. And after that you do something called I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically speed shooting. You can use both hands on this, and then you, I don't remember the time, but it's a few seconds. I think it's like 15, 20 seconds, something like that. You'll be told how many. And then you will, you're gonna have to hit about this size of a grouping inside of the sixth point ring, basically. And you have to do 3 of those as well. It's not; those are very easy. Even if you're not a good shooter, those you will do at the first try, basically. Unless you're really shit, then you struggle, and then you'll struggle with everything if you're shit. Anyway, so that's the practical qualifications. That shooting card I mentioned earlier is the theoretical qualifications. Say you get both of these done, then you still have to wait 6 months for your first license from joining the club. Because according to Swedish law, when you join a shooting club, you're going to have to wait 6 months before you can get any kind of firearm, even if it's a rifle or whatever. It's not the same with a hunting firearm. Those you can apply for immediately. Anyway, so the first handgun you'll get is going to be a 22 long rifle handgun. When you've been part of a shooting club for a year, you can get other calibers, like a 9mm or whatever. And so far at least, this is hopefully going to change. We renew our handgun license every 5 years. And those series I told you about, they're called the Golden Series or Guldserie. Those has to be renewed every 2 years. So just it's really good to have a really nice 22 long rifle handgun with ergonomic grips and all that space stuff, just so you can shoot those series. And you're gonna have to do that to keep your firearm. There's a bunch of other stuff you're gonna have to think about, like keeping score of every time you train with your firearm, just so you can renew your license. It's a lot of bureaucracy, unfortunately, regarding handguns. But yeah, main thing you have to do if you want to start up handgun shooting is join a shooting club that does handgun shooting and has access to a range for handgun shooting. And they have to be part of the Swedish Handgun Shooting Federation, of course. But they will be if they do handgun shooting. Yeah, and they'll help you. It's a nice bunch of old farts, mostly. And it's quite fun, especially field shooting with handguns. That's really fun. I have this friend, Mr. Daniel, who's nuts about field shooting, and those stations can look in 1,000 different ways. Quite fun. Anyway, let's not make this a long video. It's fun to do handgun shooting, but be prepared to invest a lot of time in it because it's not easy. You will have to go all in to be able to do handgun shooting. It's not an easy skill to master, and you basically have to master it to be able to have your own license. Yeah, okay.